welcome to my channel. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Since it is the end of October and November is just around the corner, I thought now would be a great time to pick out my November TBR. I actually have a very substantial list of unread books in my possession. Does that make sense? I have a very long TBR. I like to buy books. And I like to read them, but the buying outpaces the reading. So I actually have a lot of books to pick from. But I don't keep them in like one spot. They're kind of interspersed just all over our apartment because we don't have a lot of space to store them all in one spot. So it's a little unorganized and might seem chaotic at times, but it makes sense to me. So we're going to pick a couple of books. I'm thinking maybe 7 or 8. That feels like a safe number. I'm not really good with TBRs in general because I am such a mood reader. So I don't want to select too many and set too high expectations for myself because reading at the end of the day is a hobby. I don't need to be held accountable for not doing my hobby as much as I would like to, if that makes sense. But I do like the idea of picking out some books because it helps me feel inspired and it encourages me to pick up books that I don't normally gravitate towards, but I will ultimately end up liking. So I have this little TBR jar here. I got it from TJ Maxx. Thank you, TJ Maxx, not sponsored. With some fun little TBR prompts. I think I want to pick out 7. Let's start with 7 books because I do tend to get distracted by other books and in the mood for like specific genres. So I want to leave some spots open for that. And then also Iron Flame is coming out, I think November 7th. So I want to leave a spot open for that book as well. So 7 feels like a good number. All right, here's my jar. Let's shake it up. Okay. Feels like Christmas, I don't know why. All right, the first prompt. Okay, the first prompt is a freebie. So I can, I guess, pick whatever I want. Let's see. Okay, I have one. So my freebie, I think, is going to be Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This is the second book in the One Dark Window series, and I think the last book, I think it's only a duology. Hold on, let me look. Okay, yes, it's a duology. So I really want to get to this. The first book left off on a pretty big cliffhanger, so I want to know what happens. I also want to start getting through some of the series that I'm in the middle of, so this is like a win-win. Okay, the second prompt is a memoir or biography. I have a couple that I've bought, but I've never actually read, because I like the idea of memoirs and biographies, but I never actually pick them up when I sit down to read. So this is actually a good prompt because it'll get me out of my comfort zone. And I have a couple in mind. Okay, so I'm torn between these 2 books, From Scratch by Tim B. Locke and The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I know that this is turned into a movie, I think. I think Amazon Prime picked it up. And I've heard such good things about this. So I have picked this up and put it down so many times. So it might be nice to finally read it. This book is about a woman who is a Black American woman. She marries a Sicilian man and his family basically rejects her because she is Black. And then he dies. And so she ends up going back to Sicily with her daughter, and they basically like take her in, and it's supposed to be like a memoir about her overcoming the death of her husband, her acceptance into his family, and some summers that she spends in the Sicilian countryside with her daughter and her in-laws. It's supposed to be very heartwarming. That sounds good. She's also a TED speaker. Oof. Okay, I think I'm going to do The Glass Castle because it seems like it's a very complex memoir. And I really want to read from scratch, but this feels maybe more like a summer read because it's like, it takes place in the summer. So I think I'm going to do The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. Okay, so the third book is a book with a one-word title. I don't know if I have any of those. Why do all of these books have so many words in their titles? I don't get it. Okay, so I know I just said I wanted to finish up the series that I'm in the middle of, so starting a new one might not be a good idea, but I cannot think of another book with a one-word title, and I have wanted to read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson for a while. I was thinking about doing it for a video, so this might be kind of nice. And I really want to try reading Brandon Sanderson. I haven't read anything by him yet, so I think I might do Mistborn. I think it's about... I think it's about like an orphan girl who becomes like powerful or something. Look, I don't know what it's about. I just have heard good things. And so I think I'm gonna pick this one for my third book. I love how floppy it is. Do you see that floppiness? That is beautiful, but I hate the size of it. Like, it's just a bit too big. Like, I wish it was like, I don't know, his books are either like this big and they're bricks, or they're this big and they feel like kind of like a textbook. I don't know, I'm being picky, but I'm very excited about this one. All right, so that's 3. So we're about halfway through. Let's do a couple more. A book with a pretty cover. That's a lot of them. I have one. Okay, I lied. I actually have 3 that I'm kind of stuck between. So the first one is Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I am so behind when it comes to this duology. I bought the first one in September of last year, and then I didn't read it until September of this year. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. And then I bought the second one and I thought, well, I'll read it right away, and then I never did. But this is a beautiful cover, and I want to know what happens in the story because I don't really remember there being like a big cliffhanger. Honestly, I don't remember much about Dance of Thieves, but I know I liked it. So maybe this one? I could finish up another series. Cross that one off. I don't know, maybe this one. Then the next is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And again, I know I'm behind on this one too, but I've heard such good things about this. Plus, John Green has done a little blurb on the back, and if John Green likes it, well then I have to like it. And then the third one is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I read the Mortal Instruments series when I was in high school. I think I only got through like the 3rd or maybe 4th book. So I have not finished it, but I haven't actually read anything by her besides those 3 books. So I don't know if I'm going to enjoy her as an author, but I do know that this is her first adult fantasy debut. So I do want to give it a shot. I've heard good things about it, but it's thick. She's a thick one. I mean, the text is very big, so maybe it's not that big. Okay, I think this is technically the beginning of a series. So maybe no to this one. Okay, so now we're back down to 2. I think I'm feeling more excited about this one. So I think I'm gonna pick Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Okay, this is the 4th one. 4th. All right, so we have, I think, 3 more left. A book in a series. That is the 5th one. A book in a series. Look, I guess it's a good thing, right? I did say I wanted to finish some series I'm in the middle of, so. Okay, 2 more books. Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, or The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. This is not, I don't think it's not like a traditional series in that the storyline continues from one book to the next, but it does follow the same group of characters, so I think it is technically considered a series. Like a Thursday mystery, I can't read. A Thursday Murder Club mystery, so I do think it's technically the 2nd in the series. If you haven't read the Thursday Murder Club, it is a funny, cozy murder mystery about a group of senior citizens who live in a retirement community, and they meet on Thursdays to solve cold cases, and they all kind of have their own unique backgrounds and expertise that they bring to the plot, and it's really funny. It's kind of bittersweet. So if you're in the mood for a cozy murder mystery, that is a good book to start with. So I've wanted to read this 2nd one for a while, but I haven't been in the mood for it. But maybe I am this month. And then the 2nd option is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I gave Red Rising, the first book in this trilogy, a 5 stars. Because really, I couldn't think of like any changes I would make to the plot or the writing. I thought Pierce Brown did such a good job with it. It does start off maybe a bit slow at first, like you don't understand like what's going on or like why he is where he is, but then it all kind of starts to come together and make sense. And it really does feel like Hunger Games in outer space. I know people say that all the time, but it's true. And I really liked it. So I want to know what happens in the 2nd book of the trilogy, and I want to read the continuation of the series too, because I think he has 3 more books outside of this trilogy that is like in the same world, but not necessarily the same storyline. But I don't know. I think if I had to pick between these 2 for November, I'd probably pick The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman, because I think I might be in the mood for this month. So this will be my 5th pick. Okay. A book with yellow on the cover. Well, all right, so my 6th book will be Golden Sun. That was convenient. An award-winning book. Our last and final prompt. An award-winning book. Oh, I have one. Okay, so this one didn't technically win the Booker Prize, in 2022, but was longlisted. And this is case study by Graham McCrae Burnett. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And this has been on my TBR for such a long time. I am very curious about what this will be like to read. It is about a woman whose sister commits suicide, and she thinks that her sister's therapist had something to do with it. And I think it, like, the format of it is kind of like a diary interspersed with like a written story. But it's supposed to be like, I think, very thrilling and suspenseful. So this might be a fun read. So I think that this is going to be my 7th book on my November TBR. You know, I'm feeling like maybe I should just go ahead and do one more and make it 8. I don't know. Let's do it. Okay, bonus book. A popular book. Dang. Popular book. I don't know. I guess that could really be anything. I'm looking at my bookshelf. I'm not just staring off into the distance. Or am I? I have a couple. I could maybe do like a murder thriller, maybe a rom-com. That might be kind of nice to kind of break up. Give me something easy. I don't think I want to do another fantasy because I have a lot of fantasies on my list. Maybe I'll do a rom-com. Let's see. Okay, so I originally bought this book because I saw that Emily Henry did a little blurb on the front of it, and I love anything and everything by Emily Henry. I would read her grocery lists if she would let me. So I feel like I might like this. It's kind of a fun premise. I think it's about like a bodyguard. It's like a bodyguard romance, but the girl is the bodyguard, which I think is really fun. You don't see that a whole lot. So I think this is going to be my 8th pick for the month. Okay, so these are all of the books I have picked for the month of November. Looking at the stack, it seems a little haphazard, a little chaotic, a bit all over the place, if I have to be honest. But some of these books I'm very excited about. We're going to see if I actually read all of these because I might get like sucked into some other books this month. But I definitely want to read all of these at some point, so I'm going to try and make them a priority this month. So yeah, that is my TBR for the month of November. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any books that you are trying to read this month or you are looking forward to, please let me know in the comments down below. Feel free to, I don't know, maybe like, subscribe, just whatever feels right, whatever feels natural, you know? But that is all for today's video. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!